What is up, guys? Today I have another portfolio review for you guys, and this one is going to be a crucial review following that Monday dip. I did inform most of my premium members to buy that dip if they are feeling confident like I was, and I bought that dip, and I'm going to show you guys what that has done to my account. As you can see, we're up $2,000 today for around 5.11%, and then that does bring our account to $41,484, which is an all-time high in our account. So quickly going over to the weekly, you can see that we were down $3,000 to start the week. That Monday dip was brutal. It sucked, but I bought that dip, and it was only 12 to 15 hours of me looking at my phone, mildly crying. But we did buy that dip, and the next day it already started to pay off, and then it's doubled in the last couple of days. We are now up around $1,100 on the week for around 3% of my account. And then switching over to the month, we were up roughly $5,000 for around 13.44%. And then lastly, year to date, we're up around 15% or around $5,405. I do want to go over my cryptocurrency holdings first, and then we'll go over my main portfolio. I do own around $66,365 in Bitcoin. I do not hold Bitcoin religiously. I kind of buy when I see an opportunity. That's why you can see I'm only up $66 here. I kind of buy when I see an opportunity better in crypto, really just Bitcoin. Whenever I see a better opportunity with Bitcoin, I buy Bitcoin. And then whenever I find a better opportunity within the market, I take my money out of Bitcoin. And then that's kind of how I cycle my money through. I kind of use Bitcoin as a just bank to hold some of my money until I am ready to deploy that into the market. But switching over here, going into my first stock holding, we have SPY. SPY is the market tracking ETF for the S&P. I am up $22 on SPY. The real only reason I hold SPY, I'm going to be honest with you guys, is really just to compare myself to SPY. SPY's only up around 3% year to date, and I'm up 15%. So that gives me some maybe boost my ego a little bit, but it does make me feel good about my portfolio and how it's doing, especially on those red days when I am still outperforming the market long term. But switching over, my first big holding is going to be Tesla. I own around $10,000 in Tesla, and I'm only up around $650 or around 7%. I did buy in kind of at the peak here. If you can see, we'll switch over to the 1 year. I bought in around here right before this big move. I caught all of that big move. We were up around 3K for a while. And then, I'm holding through this little bit of turmoil that is going, trading a little bit sideways, but I am expecting a breakout soon, especially following earnings. And their guidance was absolutely insane, saying that they could possibly be bringing in $1 trillion within the next decade or two. I'm only 19, so that decade or two is going to come in my 20s and 30s. So thinking about Tesla bringing in $1 trillion a year is pretty nice. I do expect to hold these Tesla shares for some time. Next, we're going to switch over to Hood, the first stock where I did buy the dip. I bought 50 shares of Hood on Monday, and that brought my average price up to only $40.44. And then you can see today we are up $300 on Hood, roughly for around 4.36%. And then total return, we're up $1,616 for around 31.98%. You can see that most of these holdings were reallocated at the beginning of the year, so a lot of these holdings are pretty in direct correlation with the year-to-date stats. As you can see, Robinhood is up 36.51%. But what is even more bullish about this is the fact that I'm up 32%. I haven't even been holding for a month, and this next stock that we're going to get into is even more insane. We have Oklo, which I also bought the dip. I bought 25 shares, and I got to buy all of those shares at the lowest 5-minute candle on all of Monday. That was kind of just a lucky buy. Maybe I'll just brag about it here. But you can see my average price is $26.87, and currently Oklo is at an insane $42.15. Oklo is up 96% year to date, which is an insane return. I don't know many other stocks that are up that much other than some pennies. But you can see Oklo was up 20% for me today. I made around $900 with Oklo. And then switching over to our total return, we're up nearly $2,000 or 56.86%. And why I like to talk about Oklo so much is because I haven't even been holding it for 2 weeks. I have not been holding Oklo for more than 2 weeks. You can see this monthly chart, it is up 86%. I've been holding for about two and a half weeks. I think I did buy in the middle of January. So you can see this 56% has came pretty quick, If I would have bought, 3 months ago, I'd be up only 59%. Geez. But if I would have bought at the beginning of the month, I would be up 95%. Really great return. And I do expect Oklo to continue up into those 50s and 60s, maybe getting stretched out to those 70s. We'll just have to wait and see. Next, we're going to have HIMS. Y'all know HIMS. I do have 200 shares of HIMS, and I also hold 50 shares of HIMS in my old Webull account. Those 50 shares of HIMS I own at an average price of $17.49. So that is a great, great average. I'm up over 100% on those. Really coming in today. But we made $418 with HIMS today, up 6.56%. And then our total return is around $1,726 for 34% return. And you can see year to date, that's pretty much what we have done. I have been holding HIMS for quite some time. We did hit all-time highs when we had our shares last. This is where I started buying right on that dip before that third wave explosion. And then we've held through this fourth wave because I know what's coming. And that is why I keep accumulating shares. And I know that this all-time high ain't going to stop us for long. We are going to continue higher. We're going to see 45 and then 50 by the end of the year, most likely. But that $45 price target is getting hit by the end of the year. Realistically, something like the end of the summer, maybe even the beginning of the summer, depending on how this thing breaks out. Next, we're going to have Oscar, probably the most bullish stock I have for 2025. I just made a video about it. Go ahead and check out my channel where I have a top 5 stock list to buy now. This was number 1, so you guys can see my catalyst behind that. I am currently working on adding more money into Oscar, but I think this stock is going to be a buy under $30, so I'm giving myself some time. Oscar is up 22.8% year to date, and I am up 15.49% as I have been bringing my average price up. But that average price at $14.72 still ain't bad, especially when I have targets put out to $44 and then $59 and then maybe even exceeding that, pushing higher. It sounds crazy to think about, but a 300% return could come very easily for Oscar. I think it is going to have a HIMS-like explosion, maybe follow something like Palantir with that beautiful cup and handle that both those other two stocks have. But that is going to be Oscar. I think that is a beautiful buy, and everyone needs to be holding something like that. And then lastly, we have the only position I'm down on, Poet. Poet Technologies actually is a very fun stock. I like to day trade this stock really, or kind of swing trade. I have traded this stock multiple times and taking it 100%. If you are an OG premium member watching this and you remember Poet at $2, when we ran it from $2 to $5 and then $3 to $7 and then so on and so forth, comment down below and let me know, because those were the days. We're only down 7% on Poet here, but you can see we have these crazy spikes after coming down and meeting our channel where you just jump 100, 200% within a week. Right here, this was an insane explosion. So I do expect something like that to happen again. And this is a small holding. I only own around $1,400 in Poet, but I do expect maybe 100, 200% return within the coming months. It just always happens. It's kind of on a 3 to 4 month cycle of an absolutely explosion. And then it dies off for maybe a month or two, and then it explodes again, and then maybe dies off for a month or two. So I'm expecting to catch that next explosion with Poet like I have done before. So that is my bullish catalyst behind it, not much more. I don't think it's a great company. I wouldn't really buy much. That is kind of just for me to play around with. And then lastly, guys, we're going to jump over to the Roth, where I own 3 shares of QQQ and 3 shares of VOO. I do have around $3,300 in this Roth. And then year to date, we're up around $104 or 3.27%. So we are at least outpacing the S&P. But looking at VOO, we're up around $100 for around a 6.12 return. And then with QQQ, we're up just a little bit more. Let's see, can we load here? Being up around $126 or 8.63%. So I'm slowly growing this Roth. My idea is that I just slowly grow my main investing portfolio, and then I will slowly transfer my profits into my Roth IRA. Realistically, after I hit around that $50,000 price range, I will start to equal out my Roth and my traditional. So that, guys, is going to be all for me. I just wanted to talk about what happens when there is some scarcity in the market and why I personally like to buy, especially with the market that we have been in, where it has been pretty much straight up. Yes, you have gotten those dips here and there, and that is why I buy those dips, because they are so scarce. When the market is moving like this, you cannot bet against the market. Taking a look at SPY here, you have marginal dips. Literally in the last 1 year, you have 1, 2, 3, and now 4 dips that you can buy, maybe 5. But I like to buy all these dips. That is my favorite time to buy because you can get those prices at a lower valuation. And so when you do reach all-time highs again, your account's above that. And then that's how you see your percentages start to grow. That along with DCA, I like to dollar cost average into all of these holdings. And I do that, as I please. I normally kind of save up a little bit and then kind of throw like an even number. As you can see, I like 125 shares, 125 shares. I'll probably add 25 shares next to those. Tesla, I might buy another 5. And then Hinge, I might buy another 25, something like that. Poet might buy another 100. But really, that is all I have for you guys today. Just a quick portfolio update, bringing you guys this from all-time highs in my account. So make sure you guys do like, subscribe, turn the notifications on for the next video, and then go ahead and comment down below what you guys want to see in the next video. I did just do a top 5 stock list, so make sure you guys do go into my channel and then check that out. They're all going to be top 5 stocks to buy in 2025, my 5 most bullish stocks for this year. And then lastly, we have our links to the Discord down in the description below. So make sure you guys go ahead and check those out, and I will see you guys in the next video.